All right, good morning, everybody. I wanted to do just a quick video for week 3. So, welcome to week 3. Wanted to go over just a couple of things, make sure that you guys know kind of where things are, all that good stuff, so that you'll be ready for the week. All right. So, first and foremost, obviously, let's talk about the assignments due for this week. And everything pretty much this week is due essentially on Sunday, except for your discussion board. All right. This week you have your journal number 3 that's due on Sunday. You also have your annotated bibliography, and we're going to talk about that in just a moment. But there's also a rhetorical analysis discussion board, right? The initial post is due on Thursday night by 11:59, and your responses are due by Sunday. Okay, and let me just go into the folder so I can further explain a little bit about what this means. Okay, so first and foremost, the part 3, or I call it part 3, but your journal 3 is a 2-part prompt. Okay, so at this point you've done some research on your topic, and right now we have to begin figuring out what the problem is going to be for your controversial topic. So please make sure you pay attention to the directions for both part 1 and part 2. Make sure that you use your book. Okay, so your Norton book, you're going to be looking at the questions. Normally I tell students to kind of list those questions up there, and then begin to start looking at the different possible solutions that can be for your problem. Now, if you start having trouble with thinking about different possible solutions, or a problem in general to your topic that you've chosen, you may obviously at this point you may need a little help, so you might want to reach out to me. And the reason why I say that is because sometimes students choose topics that are difficult to kind of really dive into. If you didn't make sure that you did that preliminary research where you looked up sources and all that good stuff, it may be difficult, so you might need some help to kind of troubleshoot your way out. If you have questions, make sure that if you email me that you're clear about your question, right? So make sure that whatever your question is, that you state what it is, so that I can get a clear understanding of what your problem is, or where you're stuck at, so I can try to help you kind of get out of that mud, like I like to say. Okay. So that's for the journal number 3. Okay. Now we also have your annotated bibliography. Now the great thing is I created a video for my spring semester students, which explains the annotated bibliography. So we're not going to go into depth with it, because the video is already there for that. Watch the video, go into this annotated bibliography assignment information, look at all the information in there. And then, of course, again, making sure that you are watching the video. The video is going to be your key, okay? The other thing is making sure that you actually look at the assignment information. You have to have 10 sources, so you have to have 10 articles, right? Make sure you're using the JCC library. I cannot reiterate it enough how many times I'll see students using a whole bunch of different random websites that are not scholarly websites. If it's not a .org or .gov, more than likely it's not going to be an approved website that I'm going to allow you to use. And then even with those, it depends on what the website is. That's why I always tell students, try your best to just locate scholarly articles. Okay. If you can, when you're using the JCC, library, if you find, obviously something on one of those different types of sites, that's okay, right? Because it may be an article written by someone that works for that particular site, that type of thing, but you're going to be able to cite it, using the JCC library, because there's a way, when you log into it, just like if you're using NC Live or in one of those sources. And I think I need to make sure that I post those as well for you guys. But, all of these things are important to making sure that you are citing your stuff correctly. And, obviously making sure that you have some good credible sources. Okay. And then, just making sure that you're looking at the assignment information. This week you also have, again, your discussion board form. Now, normally I have two readings that I split between my classes. Now, the tricky part with this summer session is, we don't have as many students as we normally do. And I wanted to make sure that we could get some good information. So I actually cut it down to one reading. So we're just doing Is Google Making Us Stupid by Nicholas Carr, which is one of my favorite analyses about how technology just kind of takes hold of us, right? So I think you guys are going to be able to get some good information out of it. Now I do need to post, and I don't think, let me see if nope, I did not. I'm going to post a folder that's going to talk about ethos, pathos, logos. I don't know why I didn't have that already in here for you guys, and I do apologize for that, but thankfully we've caught it on Tuesday, right? So we'll get it posted and in here so that way you guys can get more information, so that way you're able to really dive into breaking down that article, right? Because as we begin and keep moving forward, you're going to be looking at rhetoric or rhetoric and rhetorical appeals and all that good stuff, and you need to understand how to break down an argument, because that is what you're going to be doing. So as you see, okay, each of you are basically responsible for analyzing one of the specific appeals, okay? Some of you have been broken down into ethos, so you're going to talk about the appeal based off ethos. Some of you are for pathos, and some of you are for logos. So just remember, you're talking about, obviously that specific one. When you get ready to respond, though, you don't have to just respond to someone in the ethos category. Like if you've been assigned to ethos, you can respond to someone that's in pathos or logos. I want you all to kind of jump around, read some of the different ones. I want to make sure everybody gets, obviously, a response to their post. So don't feel like you have to, just stay within your one, appeal that you've been assigned to. You can jump around. Although obviously if you want to, talk to, or, I guess, do one of just the people that you are assigned to, that's perfectly fine as well. But again, it's not a requirement. Okay. You do have to have, so your initial post must be at least 350 words. And then of course your 2 replies. Okay. And I'm trying to make sure I say this, record it, because I get this question a lot. You have to have 2 responses. So you're going to be responding to 2 different students. And they have to be at least 150 words each. So please keep that in mind. All right, let me go back up, and I believe that is it. I'm going to get a folder in here that's going to have some videos about rhetoric and rhetorical appeals, ethos, pathos, logos, just a whole bunch of good information. I thought I moved that folder over, but I may have moved it to the wrong week. So let me make sure that it's in the correct week and get it over for you guys, and it'll be over at the same time that this video posts. For you guys to take a look at. But if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to send me a message, let me know. And just remember, of course, you just have the 3 things due this week. So we have our discussion board that you're participating in, your journal entry, and then your annotated bibliography, which again, I have that video down there which explains how it needs to be done. And inside the folder, there are samples, there are, so much information to kind of help you get through that. Okay. Again, if you have questions, let me know. But otherwise, have a great rest of your day. And I hope you all have a fantastic week.